Marcos and Che.
Every Tuesday, we'll immerse you in the actual atmosphere of various sites in Jeju with the help of the Jeju Development Corporation and obviously Mark and JY, the fabulous team, bringing us amazing videos and amazing talk. How are you doing this Tuesday, Mark?
I'm doing okay. Why did you emphasize Tuesday? It's like, you know, if you forgot the day or something like that.
No, because that is a very big difference. I believe a British and American difference rather than us individually. You say Tuesday, I say Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
As in a C-H-O-O
I'm doing okay.
sound. So can we have a British English?
Tuesday.
No, not no to sound at all. Like a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Could you say
Tuesday?
For me, this sentence, would you like a bottle of water on Tuesday in a British accent?
Oh, you're telling me to do that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Would you like a bottle of water on a Tuesday? How's that?
I absolutely love it. It totally sounds like more of a like Oliver Twist, maybe 1800s British English accent, which a lot of Americans do. I'm really curious why you have to go back.
I know that's the
years.
default.
Why do we go back so far in history? Are you having a hashtag successful week, Mark? What does the hashtag bring to mind, or is it an unsuccessful one?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it a little bit, and I think it's a tough question if you just ask somebody like, "Hey, what have you succeeded in, or what do you consider success?" You know, and I feel like a lot of people can kind of have a hard time like thinking of that off the top of their head, but I feel like it's very reflective. If in anything, you should have like other people kind of tell it for you, right? They're just your friends or family, your close people around you. They're the ones that are going to tell you, hey, like you did this past month, or you accomplished this year. That's a success. So I don't know. I feel like that's a way to kind of find out what you've succeeded in, maybe, because maybe it's tough to kind of come up with it on your own.
I think so. That's a good way to measure it, Mark. And, you know, for us, you are certainly succeeding in bringing us interesting content every Tuesday from Jeju. We really appreciate it. And that's sincere.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, man. I mean, you know, the engineer in the here in the studio, the Jeju-based studio, he talked to us on the side. We were finished an episode with you. He said, you know, like, you know, some reporters, they stick around for maybe like 3 or 4 months, but the fact that like you guys are here for over a year, like, you know, yeah. And he just walked away, and we're just like, oh, I guess he's telling us good job.
Yeah, that's the roundabout way of saying we haven't found an ample replacement just yet. I'm just kidding, Mark. We love having you guys so much. What do you have for us today? Successful, Mark.
All right. Well, we'll start it off with a question, but it'll pretty much reveal today's topic. So, Peter, have you ever taken a yoga class? And if so, tell us about it. When did it happen?
I think the only thing vaguely similar would have been some prenatal birth class with my wife, in which one class I remember it was kind of stretching and that. I'm not sure. And it was breathing exercises, of course, to help with giving birth.
Okay.
I don't know if it was strictly yoga. And to be honest, I am the least flexible person in my football team. Like whichever football team I'm in, I'm always the least flexible. And people are like, well, you're going to be rubbish at football. But it doesn't seem to affect that. But I can't like touch my toes without bending my knees and things like this. And so I've always wanted to do yoga, but I'm just fearful I will look terrible and I'll fart a lot as well when I bend down.
Yeah, you know, that could totally happen. And that's the thing, too, when the instructor tells you to really embrace and expel all of your breath and air. Absolutely, man. But I'm right up there with you, like, as being like completely inflexible. I'm quite terrible, I found out as well.
Oh,
but the thing is, I picked this Yeah, I picked this topic because yoga, I mean, let's think about it. It's got to be a really popular way to unwind in Jeju, especially with so many yoga studios on the island. There's just so many options to those living here or visiting.
Yeah, I feel like yoga was at its peak in Seoul maybe a couple of years back.
Yeah.
We also had our Korean language teacher, Soyeon, who even got an qualification to
nice.
teach it as well.
Oh, wow.
And there was hot yoga here, there, and everywhere. I feel like these days
Yep,
maybe
sure.
Pilates has overtaken it as the trendy exercise to
That's
do.
true.
But it certainly makes sense in Jeju with the natural
Mhm.
surroundings and a way of escaping busy city life.
Absolutely. And plus, there's just a lot of one-day classes and drop-in sessions. So it makes it easier for tourists and visitors to just join in.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is what you did. You tried out a one-day yoga class?
Kind of. It was more than just a class. It was a full day retreat, and not just any yoga session, but a themed one. So why don't we take a look at our first image?
Okie dokie. So here we have 제2회 요가 론 제주 환경 캠프. So a Jeju
Yeah.
environment camp?
Yeah, so it roughly translates to yoga-filled Jeju Eco Camp. And it's an experience where participants, they explore Jeju's natural history, they gain awareness of environmental issues, engage in eco-themed board games, and conclude the day with meditation and yoga. And I was like, so who is this for, right? Is this for people visiting Jeju and, to learn more about the island? Well, in fact, out of the several participants there, JY and I, we were the only non-native Jeju folk there participating. Everybody else was Jeju Saram. And that was really interesting to me.
So no visitors as well who were just like in Jeju on holiday or anything. Well, do you know how this event came to be? If it says 제2회, I'm assuming that means it's the second edition or second year it's been happening.
Right. So this event was organized by Ye Hyuk, founder of the nonprofit Green Companion, in collaboration with yoga studio Pausa. And it's aimed to help participants connect with nature while nurturing their inner nature or their well-being.
That does sound wonderful. I'm really into like learning more about meditation, and yoga goes hand in hand with that, I think. So
a lot of that.
A full day event, how long is a full day?
Yep, 7 hours, including lunch. And we gathered at Pausa, the yoga studio, at 11 a.m. last Sunday and began the program. And as you saw in the itinerary, the day was packed with like eco quizzes, a village walk, and learning more about Jeju and its natural surroundings, and ended the day with meditation and yoga.
Oh, lovely. So what are we going to see in the first video?
So the first video is a short montage of our eco camp activities, including an introduction to the program, some ice-breaking sessions, and a walk through Sono Village, a UNESCO World Natural Heritage Village, and ending the day with some games.
Oh, wow, that sounds action-packed. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
결국에는 이제 우리가 지금 살아가고 있는
So this is Hyuk, the organizer.
지구에서 우리
Talking about living on a small fragment of the earth.
지구는 또
Little pop-up book to show you.
Right.
Oh, is that Jeju?
That was nice. That was some of the prizes that we could win at the end of the day due to the quizzes. So that's fun.
We've been talking about destroying the environment, but living within it.
하나의 존재다라는 거 우리가
We're just all one single existence together.
좀더 아름다운
Yeah.
환경도 가꿀 수 있고 또 그 환경 속에 살아가고 있는 나
Fostering our healing
자신의
within
치유도
that
만들어
environment
나갈 수
sounds good
있다는
to me.
생각으로 이 요가와 환경을 접목한 프로그램을
So that's why they came up with integrating yoga and the environment together. Wow.
만든 수많은 동물들을 묶어가지고.
So this is part of the tour that we take around the village here.
그게 하나고.
Oh, with the
나머지
autumns.
어디일까?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
섬산 일출봉이 있고
With the lava
나머지 하나가
hills.
이렇게 세 군데 지역이 세계 자연유산인 거예요. 제주도 전체 면적에서
And I've learned a lot of this stuff through our program, Peter. But what was interesting is the other participants,
세계 자연유산 마을.
they're native Jeju folk, and they were saying like we didn't know a lot of this stuff or any of this stuff. So that was pretty interesting. Yeah.
About the UNESCO
So,
heritage
it's important.
sites, the world natural
제주도가 나이가 몇
villages,
살 때인지 혹시 아시는 분 계세요?
and then how old Jeju is. Oh, how old is it?
제주도는 언제 생겨났을까? 제주도는 180만 년 전부터 형성되기 시작했습니다.
Wow, 1.8
Just short of 2 million years.
Amazing.
이게
That's like relatively young, you know, as far
여러분들
as
육지에서 오셨다고 했는데 육지는 한반도는 훨씬 먼저 생겼거든요.
The
이
peninsula's
우리
been here a
한반도, 우리가
lot
사는
longer.
한반도는 전 세계적으로도
right.
지질 엄청나게 다양하게 있어요. 국토 면적은 좁은데도 불구하고 다양한 지질이 있는데 제일 오래된 거는 26억 년도 있어요.
2.6 billion
근데
years
그런 거에
ago.
비해서 180만 년은
Right.
It is a baby.
It's a baby.
다른 곳도
Baby 제주.
다른 지역도 화산 활동에 의해서 만들어진 곳이 있는데 거기는 오래됐기 때문에 오랜 시간이 지나면서 풍화 작용에 의해서
Oh, so other
돌이
volcanic islands
계속
around the world,
부서져가지고
they're much
흙이
older.
되어가는
So
거죠.
the rocks have turned to
그래서
soil
육지에는
there.
흙이 많아요. 원래 돌이었는데 그게 흙으로 변한 거죠. 근데 제주도는
Yep, still
태어난
plenty
지
of
얼마 안
rocks
됐기
here.
때문에 아직
와우.
흙으로
My gardening
덜
equipment
부서져요.
will tell you that.
그래서 돌이 많은 거예요. 그래서 다시 한번 처음 질문으로 돌아가면 돌이 왜 많냐?
Why are there so
제주도는
many
생긴 지
rocks?
얼마 안 돼서
Because
그렇다.
Jeju is
이렇게
young.
생각하시면 됩니다.
So
you go
this
on
is
this
more of the
little
tour. He's
Wow.
explaining some of the odom in the back there. And then here's a game. This was really fun. JO and I were like, oh, we totally need this game. You know, you have those game pieces and you're hopping around and you kind of land on different spots and there's like cards that you draw and those are specific to the like where you land on the map of Jeju. So it's a really cool game.
Oh, nice. The board itself is the map of Jeju, and
Yeah.
so you can learn a lot,
That's
I'm
right.
sure, about the island. We'll be back in part 2, diving into this yoga-filled Jeju eco camp after this one from Yehyuk. I want to live in Jeju. 제주에 살고 싶어요.
제주에 살고 싶어요. 바다가 그리운 땅 아무 버스에나 올라타도 나 보내줘. 제주에 살고 싶어요. 아픈 새들의 쉼표 외로운 사람들의 가슴마다 떠있는 섬 까맣게 타버린 내 맘 같은 까만 섬도리에 새로운 집을 지으리 까맣게 타버린 내 맘 같은 까만 섬도리에 새하얀 집을 지으리 제주에 살고 싶어요. 굿자웰 가까이 붉은 틈에 자라나는 시를 찾아서 제주에 살고 싶어요. 한라산 마루 보며 요만친 돌고래와 노래하며 살고 싶어. 까맣게 타버린 내 맘 같은 까만 섬도리에 새로운 집을 지으리 까맣게 타버린 내 맘 같은 까만 섬도리에 새하얀 집을 지으리 올레길을 돌돌 도는 짙어진 바람을 안고 얼음 위로 펠로펠로 빛나는 저별과 함께 제주에 살고 싶어요. 제주에 살고 싶어요. 까맣게 타버린 내 맘 같은 까만 섬도리에 새로운 집을 지으리 까맣게 타버린 내 맘 같은 까만 섬도리에 새하얀 집을 지으리
That artist, Yehok, the chap who runs this camp, right? That is amazing. A singer
Mhm.
as well as an activist with the environment, with yoga as
Yeah.
well. What a voice.
Yeah, absolutely. I did not know that. Like that is the first time I heard that song, and he's yeah, very lovely guy. Really just very zen and very calm and really nice person.
Yeah, he did seem like it on the video, and then more so through the music as well. Siska from
Yeah.
Jakarta saying, I tried yoga and I gave up. I'm not elastic, but I like the end of the yoga session. It's time to maybe fall asleep, maybe too much relaxation.
Yeah, that's the thing. We show it in part 3, but there is a meditation part at the end. But I think the majority of the room we were passed out. I mean, it was 7 hours, 7-hour workshop. And what happened is the yoga instructor, she puts over kind of a eye mask, and it's infused with like some scent. So you're just bang out cold, man.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people have that stereotype, and it's not a false one. Matahari saying my best form of meditation is a deep sleep. And
Yeah.
it can be hard to draw the line between intense relaxation and then just conking out and being unconscious. So we are taking another look on what's up in Jeju today with Mark, live on the line from our Jeju studio at the Yoga Field Jeju Eco Camp, an event that blends environmental education with yoga and meditation. And so it seemed to be very interactive, lots of talk and discussions, playing games. You must have learned a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even though I've lived in Jeju for some time and being with you and covering this segment, there's still a lot more to uncover. I mean, hopefully, or I'll be out of a job, right? So yeah, I mean, it's nice to know, like, to be reminded how old Jeju was, and to, I have known that it's approximately 2 million years old, like 1.8. But what was interesting is the fact that it's so rocky, and you can tell by its age, it's young because it's rocky. If it was older, all of that would have turned into soil. That I didn't know, but that totally makes sense.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. And I guess it must depend on the rock as well, because we got a lot of big boulders and rocky, like exposed mountain tops here on the peninsula, even though it's billions of years old. So among the things you did learn, what stood out the most apart from that?
So as part of the program we played, it was like this ice-breaking Jeju Odom name bingo game. So Yehyuk, the organizer, he kept it simple with just a 3x3 bingo card, so not a 5x5 typical one. So each participant only needed to list 9 Odom. And despite having 360 different Odom on the island, a lot of us struggled to name 9 right away. So we had our phones, luckily, to look some up. But, it's always good. I'm always trying to remember some of these Odom, especially because I visited so many by heart, without having to look it up.
Yeah, I think for Soulites or people from the mainland, they would struggle to name more than 1 or 2. Even that amount, I'm struggling with. But seeing as you did 9, Mark, give us your top 5. 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, geez. Okay. There's Goom Odom. That's where we took our dogs. They went up. And
Well
there's
done.
Mundoji Odom. That's the horse Odom, where wild horses, they actually go on, super cool.
Yeah.
Joji Odom, it's bigger in Joji, so that's really nice. And Sangbangsan, I think that counts as his Odom, and it's super huge. And come on, what's the one near my home? I can't
Mark's
think of
near
it.
his home, Odom.
Oh no.
Let's call it
Mark's
that.
near his home Odom.
I like the name.
Gosan Odom. Yeah.
Oh, it really rolls off the tongue. What are we seeing in the next image then?
Well, it is actually a quiz. Okay, so why don't we take a look at our next photo?
Okay, it's Yehyuk standing in front of a screen that has a picture of a bag on it with another bag on the table. Looks like a leather bag.
Yeah, very good. So first, that is a leather bag, but that is actually upcycled. Okay, so upcycled. Can you explain, Peter, what upcycling means to our listeners who might not know?
Well, compared to recycling, just using something again, upcycling, I think, is meant to upgrade the product that you're reusing into something even more useful. So
yeah, nice.
That must have been something less useful than a bag.
Well, it was pretty useful, very useful. But yes, it is reused and upcycled in a way. So my question is, Peter, the bag in the forefront, the one that Yehyuk is holding, can you guess what that is upcycled from? This leather bag. What could you guess that could be made of? And it's all from like a single like entity. Yeah.
Apart from like leather jackets, what else do you use leather
good
for
guess.
in a big way? I don't know, like a saddle of a horse? I don't know.
Oh, you're kind of headed the right direction, but it's not on a horse.
Okay. Saddle for an elephant.
Well, it's
an
a different
elephant
kind of
saddle.
horse. Let's say a mechanical horse.
A mechanical horse?
One that you use every day.
A
the thing that replaced horses.
A car seat. Wow.
Ding dong dang. Yeah, it's a car seat. It's an upcycled car seat. And you can't see it in the photo, but if you turn around, even the straps are from the seatbelts of the car. So that's pretty cool.
That is amazing because like a little cultural quirk of Korea is that almost all cars here, they go for the leather seats, like the top of the range option. Whereas in the UK, it's almost all material seats and only snazzy people get the leather ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And I totally agree. So you're just like, after those cars get tossed, like what happens to that beautiful leather? And leather can last a long time.
Wow.
Okay, I think we got time for a little mini quiz part 2. That picture that within the monitor in the background, okay, that is another upcycled bag. Oh, this is a tough one. What do you think that could be made out of?
So that's a kind of cream beige color. And it's got a little highlighted, almost fluorescent yellow line going across it. So that's all upcycled. Is that also leather?
Nah, well, maybe, but I will say this. It would do really well in a fire.
In a fire? Do you mean it would do well as in it would burn like crazy and be amazing fuel, or do well in be flame retardant?
Right, flame retardant. It would actually do well against fire.
What? Is it made of a fire extinguisher?
Not a fire extinguisher, but something else.
A fireman.
Who would be wearing that? Yes.
Is it made of a real Jeju fireman?
Not the person, but what they wear, right?
That's from like firefighter uniforms.
Yep. So that is upcycled firefighter uniform. Isn't that cool?
That's amazing. Yeah. I'd never seen. Oh, some of the firefighter uniforms, you're right, are kind of beigey here rather than the black that you find in other parts of the world. What are we going to check out in your next video then? Are you going to upcycle something for us?
No, we're not. That would take another whole day, I think. But we're going through some eco camp activities, and then we get to head to the yoga studio for some meditation and yoga.
I cannot wait.
명상은 이 내면을 마주하는 연습이기도
Meditation,
하지만
not about just facing your inner self, but practicing a sense of
그리고 내
connection.
주변에 이루는
This is
모든 이
our
순간과
instructor leader
어떤 연결감을
Ihin
갖는
She's
연습이기도
got great
하거든요.
posture.
그래서
I think
오늘은
even
그
saying
시간을
like that would be
알아보려고
difficult for
보고요.
me.
옐로우라는
I was just putting some like aroma
하루의
oils on your
시그니처
wrist.
향인데요.
That's right.
계속 숨을 쉬고 있지만
Kind of sets the
사실은 그
mood.
숨을
We had a
의식할 때
meditation
좀
expert come in
달라지는
recently and say that's one of the
생생함이
easiest shortcuts to
있어요.
it.
코 앞에 가져가고요.
To meditation.
That makes sense.
눈을
Just
감아주세요.
concentrating on the scent.
그리고 편안하게 호흡합니다. Breathe in, breathe out.
Oh, just concentrating on that scent.
색연필을 한번 들어봐 주시고요.
Now we've
중심에
got
원의
coloured
중심에
pencils.
동그라미나 삼각형,
big circle.
역삼각형, 네모나 별,
And then
So she
you're-
instructed us to make like a pinpoint in the middle, and then just go from there and do anything that we wanted. Kind of just not think.
색깔
Okay.
Yeah, right.
So Mark's drawn a little circle in the middle in purple and is
뭔가
continuing to draw
그린다기보다
a scruffy
그냥 지금
circle,
손의
it seems.
흐름 그대로
Are you opening your
충분히
eyes at this point?
느끼고 따라가 보고요.
Yes, opening my eyes
Okay.
at this point.
느낌이
But I guess you could
Oranges.
choose not to if you didn't want to.
It's
Yeah.
reds.
충분히
Looks like what your average 3-year-old might
새로운
bust out at play school.
다른 색깔
Absolutely.
모양을 봐주시고요.
I'm assuming
And
everyone
then we have
looks
to
similar
explain
to that, no?
느낌은 어떠셨어요?
Oh no. Some
Just felt like
people
the
they
blues
had
didn't
moons and
belong.
stars.
Confined
Mine was really
in the
scribbly
circle.
compared to some of the
So
other
they
works.
just started leaving the circle. And I
Oh,
just wrote down, just keep going, because I just felt like I could keep doing this for hours, just not stopping.
네, 이렇게 막 처음 그려주신 보라색이 자각과 지혜라는 키워드가 있는데요.
Awareness
있는
and wisdom
그대로에
is
깨어날 때
purple. Wow.
거기엔 사실 나에 대한
음.
자각도 있어요. 나의 존재함.
This was a
그래서
stretching,
나의
but even
존재를
this was
통해서
challenging for me.
경험되는 것들을
Yeah, sitting
깨어서 바라볼
cross-legged
때
looks as
거기에
challenging for
저절로
you
뭘
as it is
어떻게
for
해야
me.
할지 그 순간에 맞는 자연스러운 선택과 행동이 우러나거든요. 그래서 우리는 인위적으로 어떤 좋은 이미지나 잘하는 모습을
Wow.
보여주기
So we often
위한
have that self-imposed
자기만의 어떤
framework of
틀이
an ideal
있는데요.
image
그래서 그 틀에 맞지 않는 순간마다
and feel
불편해지고
discomfort when we don't
그
fit
순간
into
있는
that.
그대로가 아니라 내한테 익숙한 어떤
Right.
생각, 형태,
And then express
모양으로만
ourselves in
표현하는
those
것에 이제
similar
습관되다
ways
보니까
instead of being fully present,
역류하지 않게 그냥 익숙한 뭔가에 반응하거든요.
reacting out of
근데
habit.
말씀해주신
Yeah.
그
Oh, this
순간의
was
흐름을
the last
따라가는
part.
거. 근데
putting on
그러려면
that
나를
iPad.
의식하는 거 말고는 없어요.
Yeah,
Falling asleep.
나마스테.
different kind of iPad.
You didn't bend down to quite the angle your yoga instructor went to, which looked like
Oh, no,
180
no way.
degrees.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She was like, and down, and I was like, okay, kick. Like it's just, I'm so stiff. Oh,
Had you had some sweet potatoes and a big one was rumbling inside your stomach? Like if I bent down like that, something would come out the other end for sure.
it was, pushing it. Yeah, you got to watch yourself for sure. I mean, that's true relaxation, right?
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah, being comfortable and,
Yeah.
and getting out of that framework. What's wrong with a good fart? What's wrong with a bad smell? Is it a bad
Yeah.
smell? You shouldn't judge, right? It's just a smell. We are going to be back in
Oh my
part
goodness.
3 with more yoga eco camp business. I'm really loving this week's episode. Rocky and Shiny Blue for the moment. This is Nair Marman. Hannah.
오늘따라 마음 가득히 떠다닌다 네가 두둥실 만나는 사람들마다 날 보며 웃어주고 좋은 일이냐면 내게 물어봐 고운 너의 눈에 담긴 하늘에 흘러가는 구름에 내 맘 담았어 내게 전하고 싶어 만나면 안아줄게요 널 보자마자 말야 달려가는 길이 날아가는 것만 같아 온 세상이 파랗네요 모든 게 그대의 색으로 하늘처럼 물들어가나 봐 불어오는 바람 따라서 내 마음도 살랑살랑해 본 너의 눈에 비친 내 모습 흘러가는 구름에 내 몸 담았어 내게 전하고 싶어 만나면 안아줄게요 널 보자마자 말야 달려가는 길이 날아가는 것만 같아 온 세상이 파랗네요 모든 게 그대의 색으로 하늘처럼 물들어가나 봐 널 향해 그대로 달려가 멀리서 그대가 또 웃어주네요 피어나는 그대 마음 온 세상이 파랗네요 모든 게 그대의 색으로 하늘처럼 그대 만나면 안아줄게요 널 보자마자 말야 달려가는 길이 날아가는 것만 같아 온 세상이 파랗네 모든 게 그대의 색으로 하늘처럼 물들어가나 봐 그대 마음속에도 내 모습은 늘 하늘 같은 걸
Well, that brings us back to part 3. What's up in Jeju with Mark on the line from our Jeju studio, talking all about this eco yoga camp down in Jeju with some yoga classes taken and looked really relaxing. We had some comments, CT saying from Australia, during meditation, hold your thumb and middle finger together. The sensation and feeling is different. You often see that pose, like I remember maybe Dalsim in Street Fighter 2 sometimes doing this before blowing a big flame ball out of their mouths. I've never really done this.
Absolutely.
And I'm trying to think, does this feel different? I'm trying to concentrate on the feeling of, I guess it's not a pose you usually make, but if you can concentrate on that, maybe that's a like center point for you. And I've heard that that's why they do the aromatherapy from our expert that came in, like, because it's easy to kind of concentrate just on that.
Yeah. I know that, in fact, actually holding those 2 points together, that also helps with just if you're kind of too handsy, like you're moving your hands around too much, or if you do public speaking and you're worried about fidgeting, even that helps you kind of put some pressure there, get a little bit more management of your movements.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
So how would you rate the experience? How would you review it?
The entire experience was lovely. It really gave me perspective, the fact that the other participants were Jeju natives and they didn't know a lot of the information that was shared throughout this whole experience. So that was really enlightening for me. And as far as the yoga is yoga. Like, you think it's relaxing, but it can be tough. I'm not built for yoga, and that's pretty much my fault. I'll say, like, I'm still recovering from my stateside vacation, put on a couple pounds there, but also I do a lot of weight training. So I'm really like taut. I'm a stiff, taut guy, great for lifting heavy things like a caveman, but maybe not so nice in the yoga studio.
Yeah, I'm guessing it must be good for like even muscular people to do yoga to kind of have a bit of balance, right? And
100%.
flexibility. How about that? That was really interesting. The color meditation. How did you find that?
Yeah, I would say that was probably the most meditative for me personally, the most meditative section of that experience, because to meditate, I think people sometimes they think meditating is like, oh, getting a nice sleep, but meditating is like in the realm, as you mentioned, between consciousness and subconsciousness, and just walking that fine line and kind of being awake in different ways, but also letting your mind at ease. So when I was doing that color thing that looked like, the 3-year-old scribble, I was essentially shutting my brain off and just doing whatever my hand would allow. And very meditative, I would say, that part.
Amazing. Okay, so we've got our next photo lined up with you showing yours off in your lap there.
Yep. So here I am on the left. I'm showing my circle, but everyone went around. And then Lee Han-nim, the yoga instructor, she kind of, it was a little bit in the realm of, art therapy, a little bit, where she kind of described what the colors could mean, or the symbols that were done, because mine was wildly kind of what you'd expect maybe of what people would make with other people. They really made, some of them could have been like just artistic pieces. They were very contemporary.
Wow. I think I would have done something similar to you, like taken up all the space or maybe scribbled outside it. So I can't imagine like the way of thinking for other people who've done more arty things.
Right.
Okie dokie.
Exactly.
So in our final video, what are we going to do?
So yes, I finally get to sit down with the yoga studio owner, Lee Han-nim, and we just learn why she does what she does. It's really cool.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, we just finished our session. I'm completely relaxed, 500%. I feel like jelly right now. Thanks to this wonderful instructor who's part of the program, headed the program today. Could you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 빠우사를 운영하는 이한님이라고 하고요.
Baosa, 이한님.
빠우사가 일시정지라는
Oh, it's
이탈리아어인데
pause from
That's how
그
you-
Italian.
순간에
Ah.
있는
Yeah.
그대로 휴식하는 연습을 함께 나누고 있어요. 그래서 컬러 명상이랑 요가를 통해서
It's color
이 순간의
meditation,
감각 그리고
yoga,
몸에
focusing on your
집중하면서
sensations,
충분히
letting
호흡하고
things flow.
So it's a
느끼고
lot of-
흘려보내는 시간을
Right, a lot of
안내합니다.
meditation incorporated.
And
in
I'd
it.
like to get
Yeah.
into color yoga. Some could say it kind of delves into the realm of art therapy a little bit. So can you walk us through that? What did you have us do today?
정말 단순하게 이 순간 감각으로
Just a simple
돌아오게 하기
tool
위한
to bring you back
도구예요.
to the sensations and
가장
feelings.
많은 방법 중에 호흡으로 돌아오는
Focus
명상이
on
많은데요.
returning to the breath. For most
호흡은 눈에
meditation,
보이지
Yeah,
않고
breath.
또 금방
Super
시선이
important,
다른
right?
곳으로 빼앗기기도 해서 제가 먼저 명상을 배울 때
but that
저한테
can help
되게
when
많이
you're first
도움됐던 게
starting
지금의 컬러
meditation because breath is invisible and you
그래서
can't really
이
focus on
명상을
it and you might
통해서는
get
굉장한
distracted.
어떤
Yep.
뭔가를 얻는다기보다는 그 다양한
But the goal isn't to
컬러의
gain
다시
something
생생함으로
extraordinary,
돌아올 수
but
있게
just
되고
return to the vividness of the
집중하기도 또
colors.
조금 더
I hear that
쉽기도
with meditation
하고요.
a lot. It's not some
그러면서 그
amazing
흐름을
epiphany,
오히려
but it's
Yeah.
just something
또렷하게
very
볼 수
subtle.
있다는 게 장점이에요.
Right.
Any final things for our listeners as far as to bring them down? Maybe, they can be like what you said, come on down, try this out, and maybe you can go back, sign up for a yoga class somewhere, or just come and visit Jeju, enjoy Jeju in a certain way, or, even join this program.
먼저 여러 막 상황, 그 다음에
When
복잡한
you feel
생각이나
overwhelmed
그런
by
것들에
situations or
많이들
tangled
치이잖아요. 그리고
thoughts.
저도 그랬고 지금도 그럴 때가 있지만
She even experiences
그렇게
that.
막 흔들리는 것 같을 때에도
But
절대
there's
변하지
something
않는 게
within us
하나
that doesn't
있더라고요.
change. Ooh, what's
그냥
that?
존재의 완전함? 그냥
The
지금 나의
completeness
살아있음?
of our existence.
그리고 그렇게
The fact that we're
생생함을
alive.
다시 되찾을
That you-
때 막 복잡한 생각에 끌려가지 않을 수 있는 힘이 원래 우리에게
You don't
있고
need to be swept
그리고
away by all
다양한
those thoughts.
조건들이 절대 나를 정의 내릴 수 없다는 거를 점점 더 강하게
No
알게 되고
external
있거든요.
conditions can
그래서
truly define you.
보이는 것들 너머에 뭔가 보이지
Right.
않는 여러분
You got
안에
that
깊은
strength, that vibrancy, it's all within you.
생생함, 그 힘 자체를 응원해드리고 싶다는 말씀을 전하고 싶어요.
So just wanting to support and encourage that. That's so good. And yeah, it might sound wishy-washy, airy-fairy if you're not into these kind of practices, but I don't know, there's a real truth in that. And if you really
Yeah.
kind of give yourself over to that nothing else externally defines you, it's like kind of all within, then you can be, I don't know, much more kind of confident in yourself as well.
Not just confident. I think it's important for us to. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world outside of you, and I think a lot of folks, they don't really like doing meditation or being alone with their own mind because it's terrifying. But what, are you some tough guy? Like, I think meditation is super important. I think self-reflection is also really important, and the fact that it's big and small at the same time. Super important stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, CT says the Oracle Bone Script character in Chinese for return is circling from the outside towards the center. I tried doing this with an ink brush pen and it was very meditative. It does sound that way. Mark, thank you so much for bringing us back to center, back down to earth. Any final words?
Nice. No, I mean, I think Ihanim, she did a fantastic job in just this entire program and also us just existing, and keyword of the day, let's find our success in that. So yeah,
Will
absolutely.
do, Mark. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week for a special edition on Monday due to the solo holiday schedule. So looking forward to that. Take care.
All right, brother. See you then.
Here is Dick Punks, Addicted to TV, TV를 켜봐도.
내 마음 두근대는 걸 잘 아는데도 알면서 모른 척했어 난 감출 수 없다는 걸 잘 아는데도 알면서 모른 척했어. 나 처음 봤던 눈빛에 담겨있던 너의 속마음 난 떨쳐내려 들이켜도 돌려봐도 어떻게 잊을 수 있어. 화면에 비치는 너의 그 미소 처음이야 빠져들었어 난 이 계속 맴도는 걸 이제 내가 떠나고 있어. 날 처음 봤던 그 순간 지워내고 싶어. 나만 이렇게 날 좋아하는데도 내 맘을 넌 모르겠지. 하루 종일 너만 보고 원하는데도 내 맘을 넌 모르겠지. 멀어지려고 하면 할수록 너는 내게 다가와. 떨어지라고 외쳐보고 외쳐봐도 절대로 그럴 수 없어. 화면에 비치는 너의 그 미소 처음이야 빠져들었어 난 맘이 계속 맴도는 걸 이제 내가 널 원하고 있어. 난 처음 봤던 그 순간 지워내고 싶어. 너 때문에 하루 이틀 사흘 널 보다가 오늘도 잠들어. 또다시 하루 이틀 사흘 네 생각에 하루를 질세워. 병원은 나가지만 널 향한 내 맘은 계속 빼. 영화는 다 끝났지만 나는 널 잊지 못해. 처음이야 빠져들었어 내 맘이 계속 맴도는 걸 이제 내가 널 원하고 있어. 날 처음 봤던 그 순간 지워내고 싶어. 빠져들었어 내 맘이 계속 맴도는 걸 이제 내가 널 원하고 있어. 날 처음 봤던 그 순간 지워내고 싶어.
That is the end of the Tuesday edition of Hashtag Daily K. Tomorrow it's Check It Out with Paul Matthews in hour number 2, our Korean literature segment. A massive thanks to all our staff members behind the scenes, and this one from Lee Sang featuring Jongin to take us out. I'll give it all to you. 나 그대에게 모두 드리리. It's been your daily dose of Korea. Hashtag Daily K out.
저 다리 위 떠있는 밝은 달의 빛처럼 나는 항상 그댈 비추고 싶지. 지치고 지친 난 사랑이란 행복의 인질. 파도처럼 흔들리지 거침없이 그대여. 두 팔을 내 목에 걸어 마음을 열어 내 사랑을 먹어 우리 함께 내일을 걸어. 그대 내게 특별해 분명해 강렬해 내 삶의 한 면에 그댈 다 채워버리고 싶어. 하늘이 별을 가졌다면 난 더 아름다운 그댈 갖고 싶어. 난 거친 남자지만 멋진 남자야. 넋이 나갔어 네 매력에 매료돼 내 인생이 새롭네. 걱정 마 잘해줄게 내가 다 해줄게 내가.
드릴 말이 있네. 오늘 밤 문득 드릴 말이 있네. 나 그대에게 모두 드리리. 터질 것 같은 이 내 사랑을
그대여 나를 묻고 나를 즐겨 난 그댈 위해 타오르는 불꽃 그대를 품고 부러움 없이 살고 싶어 우리 둘만의 사랑의 선을 긋고 그대 입술이 말하는 얘기 그대 두 눈이 보는 여기저기 그 모든 건 다 행복으로 피어나는 연기 식을 줄 몰라 이 사랑의 열긴 행복은 멀지 않아 난 그대만 있다면
서로를 바라보며
우리 서로를 바라보며
깊어가는 사랑이
깊어가는 사랑이 느껴져
멈추지 않고 싶어
지금 이대로 있고 싶어
나의 품에 안고서 나 그대에게 드릴 말인데 오늘 밤 문득 드릴 말이네 나 그대에게 모두들이 터질 것 같은 이 내 사랑을
그댈 위해서라면 나는 못할 게 없네 별을 따다가 그대 두 손에
One exclusive. Here it is. Two. Now check this out. Okay, fellas. Three. 11. Go.
Welcome to Arirang News. This is Kim Ji-yeon, and we start with our top headlines at this hour. Donald Trump is officially back as the 47th President of the United States. Trump's inaugural address set the tone for his next 4 years, echoing the core message of his first term, America First. Shortly after his inauguration, the White House unveiled a revamped website with the bold declaration, America is back, promising to fight for a stronger, safer, and more prosperous nation. Key priorities for Trump's second term include securing the border, reinstate the Remain in Mexico policy, and addressing crime by cracking down on cartels and protecting law enforcement officers. Trump also pledged to make America energy dominant again, rolling back climate policies and streamlining energy production through regulatory reforms. Meanwhile, his America First trade policy also aims to protect U.S. businesses and reduce reliance on foreign organizations for tax policy. In related news, as Donald Trump on Monday became the second U.S. president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms in the White House, the world leaders congratulated the 47th U.S. president. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau took to his social media to note the opportunity the 2 neighboring countries have in working together to create more jobs and prosperity. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu congratulated Trump, saying that he believes the U.S. and Israeli alliance will grow to even greater heights. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was also quick to congratulate Trump. The Ukrainian leader noted that Trump has always been decisive, adding that Trump would provide an opportunity to strengthen American leadership and achieve long-term peace. Moving on, here in Korea, President Yoon Suk-yeol will attend his impeachment trial hearing for the first time on Tuesday. He will travel to the Constitutional Court from Seoul Detention Center. This makes him the first president in the nation's history to defend himself here at the Constitutional Court. It is expected that he would be escorted by the Presidential Security Service from Seoul Detention Center, and upon his arrival, the Constitutional Court may allow him to use a private, undisclosed passageway. Experts say it is likely for Yoon to explain why he believes his imposition of martial law on December 3rd was justified and also constitutional as an executive right for the president. Meanwhile, the CIO attempted to forcibly bring President Yoon in for questioning at the Seoul Detention Center yesterday, but withdrew late last night after being met with resistance. In a statement to the press, the CIO announced that their investigators stopped their attempts at around 9 p.m. last night in accordance with human rights protection regulations as Yoon refused to cooperate. They have said that they will continue criminal procedures, including additional attempts at forced interrogation, but it is not yet clear when or how this will happen. Switching gears to economy. South Korea's producers' prices rose for the second straight month in December amid the weakening Korean won. According to preliminary data from the Bank of Korea on Tuesday, the producer price index, a major barometer of consumer inflation, rose 0.3% in December from the month before. This follows a 0.1% gain in November. On year, the index rose 1.7% last month, increasing for the 17th straight month. Agricultural, livestock, and fisheries goods saw the highest jump in prices last month, climbing 2.8% from a month earlier. Moving to the weather forecast. Most of Korea is trapped in high levels of ultra-fine dust. An ultra-fine dust advisory has been issued in the capital, Gyeonggi-do Province, and Chungbuk State. Even emergency fine dust reduction measures are in place for the capital area and Chungcheongnam-do Province. We could see dust level going to a very high level in the morning. Dusty air has built up since yesterday. Afternoon highs will be as high as yesterday at 8 degrees Celsius in the capital, Daegu, and Busan at 11 degrees. The current temperatures are 2 degrees in Seoul, 3 degrees in Gwangju, 7 degrees in Busan, and 7 degrees on Jeju-do Island. You're listening to Arirang Radio.
Arirang Radio.